Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to showcase a team around Goodra. Yeah, Goodra, we just got that as a new Pokemon in Pokemon GO. The event is live for me for like an hour and a half right now. I just pulled up the first one with rare candies. Let's go right into the gameplay. We have the first opponent here, Dragonite lead, I think. Yeah, it's a Dragonite lead, and we can just farm down here actually with Goodra, which is like really cool because Goodra is so bulky. I got like a really decent one as the first Agumi, which is cool. 315-14. It's decent, but it's like not perfect AP, as you see in the top left. Like it's good. It does not really hit close to 2500, but it's still alright. Still, I kind of wanted to get this thing done, especially because you can only evolve Goodra if it's raining outside or if you're like at a rainy lure, but rain lures are not in a shop or anything like that. There's like one quest you can do, which you have like a special quest during this current event where you get like one at the end, but it's gonna take forever to get there. So I was like so lucky that it's raining outside for me right now, as you also can see in game here. My opponent has a double steel backline, which was like really hard to deal with this team here. If there was not an Excadrill but Stunfisk here, we would have been way better off, because against Stunfisk we actually survive a rock slide. Against Excadrill, like Excadrill is just way too strong. Excadrill just do so much damage against us, like yeah, that's just like a one shot there, and I also don't even get to move here, so it was still a close game, but good game to my opponent. That was kind of difficult to win, but I kind of wanted to show that you can just actually farm down a Dragonite with your Goodra, because they were just bulkier than that. Here we have Gallade as well, lead here, which is good for me, because like my backline is really good against Gallade, so I'm just going to try to catch a close combat here. But I'm actually going to catch a Leaf Blade, which is even better. Like, this double resisted against my Talonflame, that's like totally fine for me. And now I'm able to just incinerate him down. I think I'm going to shield here just because close combat does hurt. He goes into his own Talonflame, which is good. I'm like, I think at 100 energy right now. And I should be able to get to... Oh no, that's a 2500 Talonflame. That means he has best buddy Talonflame here. And he can go for the Flame Charge before, but we can just farm all the way down with Goodra. There's no problem with that. But we are one shield down. Gallade is basically dead already. No, depends on he's in the back. And he has a Shadow Machamp in the back. And this is like really good for our Bronzong. Oh, that's a normal Machamp, never mind. We get the attack drop with the Muddy Water. We can go for the Power Whip here. And I thought, okay, this is like a Goodra showcase, so I'm just gonna stay in here. I could have just went straight into my Bronzong there. It would have been fine as well. Bronzong against two fighters is like really good for me. But here he just goes surrender after seeing the Bronzong, and this is a good game. Oh yeah, here was like, I was kind of late to record the match. It was like right in the beginning. We have Swampert in the lead against us. I'm just gonna shield the first one because they never really bait. Baiting Hydrocan is like kind of difficult there for them. We would survive an Earthquake, that's not the problem, but it would do a lot of damage, so I'm just gonna go straight for it. I bait here, but did not really work out, so I'm just gonna go for the straight move here straight, because Muddy Water he would still survive. And he goes into Fairy Clefable. That's definitely difficult for me, but now I see the Talonflame, and I'm just gonna go for the Brave Bird. There's like no way why not go for the Brave Bird right now. And yeah, that's like perfect for me. I can even get some more damage on him. He goes actually for the Flame Charge here, I think, but realized that this does not KO from this range. So he has to go for another one, which is fine for me. I have my Goodra. I can just farm all the way down. And I have Steel type in the back for the Fairy type, which is like perfect for me. Yeah, I can just go for the Muddy Water. I hope for the debuff. Debuff from Muddy Water is like really rare, to be honest. Like I got it I think twice in 15 games or something. So that was like not really that good for me. It's a 30% chance. Like for me it was more like 10%, but yeah, it's like how it is sometimes. Sometimes you get it all the time, sometimes you just don't get it at all. So you have a 35 energy move that gives you a 30% chance to debuff your opponent's attack by a 1. It's more like a bait move, Muddy Water, but still it's a decent move. Like it's good that it has something like this in the move pool. The other moves of Goodra are, by the way, Sludge Wave and Draco Meteor. The charge move. Draco Meteor is something I might actually consider. I didn't see a lot of usage for Power Whip most of the time. I think I saw more usage where I could have used Draco Meteor to nuke something. I mean, of course, like against Swampert or whatever, but you're still good against Swampert anyway. Like you don't really need that. So I don't know. Like I don't think there's really a bad moveset with Goodra. Even Sludge Wave has some play against like Fairy types if you can farm down something before. And landing a Sludge Wave against Fairy is just like really good for the Goodra. You may put his Skarmory, but like I just can't farm him down after shielding once. I just have to shield there. If he goes for the Brave Bird, it's game over for me. My opponent I think actually no shield this move here, which is like kind of questionable. And yeah, now he's like super low. I don't have to shield this. It does not really matter to me. And there's nearly nothing that can beat a Goodra and a Bronzong here. And he goes into 9-tails, which is actually decent at least still, especially with like Powder Snow. But I resist every move here with my Bronzong. But Dazzling Gleam still does hurt a lot. Like, don't underestimate a Alolan Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales always has stun play. So, there is that. Here we can still try to farm him all the way down. And this should still be a good game. This looks good. My opponent baits here. Like, really good plays from my opponent on this spot. But I'm also gonna try to catch a move later on with my Goodra. And I actually get the Dazzling Gleam on my Goodra right now, which like, of course sealed the game. I would have won anyway, but which I thought that would be funny. Even if he tried to fight me down, I would have won. So, good game to my opponent. Goodra against Machamp. It's difficult here. Okay, yeah, my opponent kind of lagged in the beginning, which is good for me. I'm just gonna go for the Muddy Water here, and I hoped that I catch a cross chop on my Talonflame, and I actually catch that, which is like so good for me. Of course, you have to keep in mind that Rock Slide is super effective against this, so it's not as good. But we already got a shield, and I'm just gonna go for the Brave Bird here. I don't really care. I don't really want to get farmed down by this Lapras after one serve. Serve does like half. So I'm just gonna go straight for the Brave Bird, ensure that I'm gonna be dead after a serve. And that I can farm him down with my Bronzong. Ice Shard is resisted here, so still does a lot of damage, but we can just farm him down. Unless he has like something like Umbreon on the back, we're kinda in a good spot. Umbreon would be difficult to deal with. And we can farm all the way down here, and this is a Lapras. He has a Drifblim in the back. This is actually still kind of difficult. Drifblim is like really good against Bronzong, and still has his coverage move against the Dragon in the back. So it's still not over here, especially after the Ice Event here. This payback doesn't do as much as it should do, and we have to go into our Goodra. He goes into Machamp. I have to shield this. I definitely have to shield this. I have to get some damage from the Goodra onto the Drifblim as well. I'm scared to farm all the way down, so I'm just gonna throw my Muddy Water right now to damage him a lot. And try to get to another Muddy Water here. That's really crucial that I get there. And this still does not KO me. To KO him, but he's gonna KO me here with an Icy Wind. But we still have our Bronzong in the back, and we can just farm him down with a 1 for confusion here. Good game to my opponent. Against the next one, we have Goodra against Talonflame. That's definitely a decent matchup, but most Talonflame users still just gonna go straight for the Brave Bird to get a lot of damage on you. I'm just not really willing to get the damage on my Goodra right now, because if he stays in here, I don't think he has like 2 great answers in the back, so I'm just gonna shield. Because for a Brave Bird, he's gonna switch out into Lapras. I'm actually gonna go for the Power Whip just to try to get the shield back. And I think that's also what I'm gonna get. Yep. And now I can go into my Bronzong. Surf doesn't do as much. I can survive at least 2. And okay, I didn't get an extra move in here, which is kinda unlucky. Shadow Lapras is also like really cool. I think it's also XL, otherwise he wouldn't best buddy that. Here we can go for the Psyshock. And I actually gonna let this... Oh no, he goes into the Talonflame, which was not the best play here, because I can get to another move. And he has the shield. And we can go into a Goodra. He's gonna go for the Flame Charge, I think, here in this case, actually. But this is fine, because we can just still farm him down here before he gets to move. Dragon Breath is just such a strong move. He goes back into Lapras. He goes for Surf, I think. So I'm actually gonna go into my Talonflame here to get ahead on energy. He gets to another Surf, which is like kinda unlucky. Now it depends what he has in the back. He has a Swampert in the back. I can go straight for the Brave Bird here. This game is over. This Brave Bird against the Swampert does like so much damage. It's so nice. And yeah, I think he actually surrenders here. I just let it go. There was nothing he could do. Next opponent, we have Goodra against Dragonite again. Sometimes it's a bit difficult if the Dragonite has good IV, and this Dragonite had better IV than the other one, so I had to switch out here, catch the Dragon Claw. If it's not below half health before he gets to your Dragon Claw, you won't be able to farm him down, but he has Umbreon here, and Umbreon against Bronzong is like horrible, but at least he's burst immediately, so he does not get like extra farm, but still we're like in such a bad spot. It's like a horrible spot right now. I'm just gonna go for my Incinerate here, try to get to a Flame Charge. Maybe I actually should have tried to get to a Brave Bird and then swap out, but the Dragonite is still like a huge problem for me, so I have to keep that in mind. I have to shield something here, so I'm just gonna shield this move. And we are able, yeah, he goes into the Dragonite. I'm just gonna go for the Flame Charge. It still does not look good for us right now. Go for another Flame Charge. He shield the first one. Does he shield the second one as well? He does not, so we actually are in a better spot right now. But yeah, it depends. He goes into the Umbreon, which kind of says that he's kind of weak to Talonflame in the back. I expect like most likely Venusaur here. Especially because he's gonna shield this move as well. And yeah, it was kind of clear there, but I couldn't do anything about that. It must be something like really weak to Talonflame in the back. And this is the Venusaur, and here, if we had Draco Meteor, we would have won this game. Because Draco Meteor would have most likely one-shot this thing. I mean, not one-shot, but like would be close, and we had like a lot of energy before. But because we only have bad moves against Venusaur, there's like nothing really we can do here. So there's like why you maybe actually want to run Draco. Draco Meteor is like such a nice nuke, so maybe you consider using Draco Meteor on this thing. But it's okay. Good game there. I guess the next opponent, this opponent is actually funny. I battled him just right now again. He plays my old team, that is the team that got me to rank 1 in the world. Like, second season of Go Battle League, or third season, like when Ultra Premier came around. It was like my team that got me to rank 1 on the leaderboards for like a week. So like it was such a solid team, but with XL, I don't think it's a good team anymore, sadly. Like Talonflame just completely sweep this team, and we have Talonflame in our team, so it's looking good for us. But I already expected him to have Gallade and Venusaur on the back at this point. Why? Because like no one else uses basically Magneton right now. Magneton is nearly completely dead other than my team. Here I got like a lag that I couldn't hit my bubbles. It was like really crazy. Like the game wasn't responsive anymore. Like I couldn't hit bubbles at all. That's cool. But it's time. Like we still are in a really good spot here. He shielded that anyway, so it didn't matter there. But I didn't want to undercharge there if people thought that. It was just lag or something like that. Here he goes like into the Magneton. I go into my Goodra, which is still fine for me. I'm just in such a good spot against this Venusaur, so I don't really have to care about that as much. I just can save my shields for the Talonflame as well. Can go for Psyshock here, he goes for a shield, he goes for the move here. It's just like, I don't see a scenario where he can win this with his team. I can just go for my Incinerate here. And yeah, this is just like over. Basically, I can go for, yeah, this is just Flame Charge and one Incinerate against the Magneton. Magneton is dead, everything is dead, good game there. Yeah, sadly this team isn't the best one anymore. It's just like XL killed that team before. It was like a really strong team. Like got me to rank 1 in the world. Here we have Shadow Dragonite. Against Shadow Dragonite, I think there's no possible way where you can't farm him down. You can always farm him down here. Because it's 20 more damage, so you always are he is always below half health. Oh yeah, you get like some lag here, which is actually crucial. Because we cannot get to Muddy Water now, which we should have got. And we might have got like an extra move in there. That was kind of unlucky. But yeah. Here we have our best counter still, sadly, the Bronzong. So if Goodra's gone, basically we have no good answer against Empoleon, sadly. And still manageable. Here he goes for a move. I just gonna let it go, and I'm gonna go straight into my Talonflame here to try to farm him down and get some energy lead. And I get an extra move in here, which is good. I have to shield here, of course, because it's gonna KO me right away. But my opponent has a Gengar, which is cool. I know there's Survivor's Shadow Punch still from this range. There's no way that this would KO me. And I can go for another Flame Charge right away. And I'm gonna KO this Gengar right now, because he didn't go for the Shadow Punch, and I can KO the Empoleon with one move as well. Good game there. If he went for the Shadow Punch, I think I would have lost. But it's fine. Next game, I think it was Tommy Love. Yeah, that was like also a streamer then. I think it was Tommy Love. I didn't really saw the name right now. But yeah, we have Goodra against Empoleon. That's our best matchup actually against Empoleon. But most people don't really know the moveset here. Here's like probably like the really best move there against it. Does like a lot of damage. We can survive every move here. I'm just gonna let it go in this case. Because we still have like our backline, we can just farm down afterwards with our Bronzong and we are good. We have some lag here again. Unlucky. I actually go into Talonflame, do I? Yeah, I go into Talonflame. Get some extra moves in here because I know that I get there before I get to a move. And he goes into a Machamp, yeah. And here, I'm just gonna go for the Brave Bird, and I can switch out because both of my mons are like really good. This mon is better, and I just want to have at least a shield. Most people think that I like bait maybe in the first move there, so I'm just gonna... Then in mind he has a Venusaur on the back of this game. Good game. Like, Venusaur and Machamp is like a really common backline, because they basically lure in the counter to the other mon, so... And they're basically weak against nearly the same typings. And so that's a really common typing in the backline. And it's good in game. Yeah, we can just farm him down here. Nothing he could do. And the next opponent we have Goodra against Machamp. Again, you kind of want to catch a cross chop, but most people don't throw right away. I'm just going to go straight for my move. Maybe expect him to shield. He shields here. And then it's just like, have a feeling for when he gonna throw. And yeah, that was like lucky. I think that was like at 8 or something, or 9. So something like, it's actually never really directly at the move, but it's still fine. Here he goes into Shadow Swampert, but we have like a lot of energy already. So I know that if I double shield here, we're gonna be able to win back in this game here. And we can align our Bronzong later on against the Machamp and stuff like that. So it's not looking too bad for us. And we know we're gonna KO the Swampert here right now. And he's gonna go back into the Machamp, knowing that he gets to move before me. Good place there. Now depends what he has in the back. I think that's also the last game we have for today. So thanks all for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, I would appreciate if you would subscribe. It's like free. You can always decide differently and unsubscribe later on. We're gonna cover most likely the fairy type that I got released as well on this channel, but I have to grant those XL candy first. It's like kind of the problem right now. So yeah, you need both for both Pokemon, like a lot of XL candy, so we have to see. Here we kind of sadly still lose this game, barely, because he gets to the super power. Yeah, I should have tried to farm down there, that was my only play, but still. Good game to my opponent. We lose by 1 HP in Dream, and see you next time.